Yo, what is up, Debt Free Mafia? Hey, welcome to today's video. I wanted to talk today a little bit about some recommendations I would give anybody who's aspiring to be a financial coach or maybe just want to be a coach in general. I think these are really good points. Guys, if you don't know my name is Rick. I am a financial coach and the owner of the Debt Free Mafia. Guys, if you are down with the Debt Free vibe, be sure to hit us with the subscribe. It really helps us out. We cover lots of content here about debt-free living and leaving a legacy to our children's children. So if that's something that you relate with and something that you want to be a part of, hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you. Also, hit the like button if this is stuff that you find helpful to you, because it also helps us reach more people, and that's what we're trying to do. We want to be a good resource for folks. Anyways, today I wanted to talk about the three recommendations I have, and that's empathy, storytelling, and program structure. I think that all three of those have been huge success points for me and have really helped me connect with clients and become a really effective coach. If you're watching this, you probably want to be an effective coach. Maybe you're not familiar with financial coaching. Maybe you're just kind of dabbling into it. Well, really what financial coaching is let me tell it to you like this. You know how some people at the end of the month just really start to stress out, dread going to the mailbox, don't want to look at the bank account, feel stressed out just opening their banking app. At the end of the month, they're not sure if they're going to make rent, so they're stressing. What I do is I fix that. So as a financial coach, what I do is I help provide peace. I help monitor the behavior and help change behavior with clients and their money. Really, the math part is the smaller part of all of it, which is like, budgeting and debt payoff dates and investing and stuff like that. That's a small part of it. Really what it comes down to is behavioral things that we kind of need to address and have some accountability on. That's something that I think a financial coach has to thrive in. So let's talk about this first one, that's empathy. And I think this is by far the most important one. So if you get anything from this video, stick around for this one, because this is the most important one, I think. Empathy, and that is being able to put yourself in their shoes. A lot of financial coaches are financial coaches because they've been in debt. We were massively in debt. I remember being physically just stressed out, mentally stressed out. Honestly, on the spiritual side of things, I was struggling. I would come home and pray to God and just cry because the stress was just like so heavy on me, because I was over $1 million in debt at a time of my life and just felt like I was never going to be able to breathe or be able to have freedom ever again, is what it felt like. So, I think as hard as that was, I'm all about it now because it allows me to be able to meet a person where they're at. Whereas if I had never been in debt, I think it's a little bit harder to do that. And it's going to take a little more effort on your end if you haven't been in debt to be able to connect on somebody if you're going to be a financial coach. Doesn't matter what kind of financial coach is. What your goal is to put yourself in their shoes and feel what they're feeling, right? A lot of the times it's going to be stress and anxiousness, a lot of hopelessness, and so that's where we get to jump in, be empathetic with them, and provide hope, provide plan, provide some upbeat energy for them, because they're gonna be feeling it, right? So I think again the most important part is empathetic and understanding them, and I think along with that, and this is just a bonus tip, don't have expectations of people. I think your life will be 100% better if you will stop having expectations of people. A lot of the times we kind of think, oh, a person should do this with their money, or a person should morally believe this, or a person should morally vote this way, X, Y, Z, whatever it is. I promise you, if you can eliminate those expectations and stop having expectations or putting expectations on other people, especially ones you don't know, life is going to be a lot easier for you. You can take my advice on that or not. Okay, so let's talk about number 2, and that is being able to tell a story. Okay, so I'm big into coaching. I'm so big into coaching, I hired my own coach because I wanted to be a great coach. So I learned from a really good coach, and this coach, his name's Justin Bennett. He does Strong Tower Consulting, which he's a financial coach also. He's been very successful at it, and I'm very pleased that I hired him to be my financial coach because he did such a great job. But one thing that he always said that has resonated with me is this: facts tell, stories sell, right? So you kind of want to have that mindset. And it's not just like trying to pitch your coaching to somebody. That's not really what I'm talking about so much. It's more of like, hey, I recommend this debt payoff plan, or I recommend you follow these baby steps. You have to sell them on that, or whatever it is. Maybe you're a different kind of coach, but you have a better path or a proven path that you'd like a client to go down, and you have to sell them on it. And really, we're in the business of sales, and that's the matter of the fact. And you can tell facts, and people like facts, but stories are really where I come in, right? So when I first started coaching, I relied heavily on my story, right? Because I didn't have a lot of clients. So I relied heavy on my story, and I relied on other stories of people that I've met who've gone through the same thing and talked about how they did XYZ, which is what I'm recommending, and how I've bought them all kinds of success. So much so that, I'm not going to sell to every client, or I'm not going to convince every client. That's just the nature of the beast. You're not going to convince every client. And one of the things that I always recommend before they leave is I always offer them a reference to a past client who's agreed to be a reference, just because their story might be what puts them over the top to be able to want to accept financial coaching. Because financial coaching is tough because it really deals with the pride. Because a lot of people don't want to face their financial failures or their financial troubles, whatever you want to view it as. It's a lot of it's rooted in pride, a lot of it's rooted in anxiousness, and it can go pretty deep because a lot of trauma is tied to financial pasts, and I've found that several times. And that's just the case. So anyways, I think so far we got empathy and storytelling. And last is a program. I really, really believe a coach should have some sort of program in place, no matter what it is. I think they should have probably a few different programs, because you're just going to have different clients with different backgrounds. For me, most of my clients are in debt, and I have a 6-month program that I recommend to the majority of my clients, because finances, you can't microwave them. It's more of like a slow cooker, and we talk about that a lot here. I like to be with a client. I'm actually in the process of working on a year-long program, because I think a year-long program will continue to push and provide even better results. Right now, I just have a 6-month program and a 3-month program. 3-month program is typically for clients who are already out of debt and just wanting to have a good structure in place to build wealth off of and be able to start investing like crazy. And a lot of the times they just want the accountability, and they want somebody to peep in on what they're doing and say, hey, you're doing great, or hey, let's adjust these things and you're doing great. So those are the 2 main programs I work off of right now. Again, I think I'm gonna do the year-long one here before long, but I want to make sure it's as much value as possible before I do that. So there's that. And I think if you have these programs, it's only going to allow you as a coach, or especially a financial coach, to be able to rely on, here's what we're covering, XYZ. Obviously, you're going to dive deep and ask lots of questions. That's another bonus tip: ask lots of questions, because that will continue to uproot things that you didn't know were there. And I think that's something that you have to learn as you go on, is learning how to learning how to ask the right questions. And this goes for anybody who's in a coaching position or a mentorship program. Learning how to ask the right questions is a great skill to develop. And I recommend Never Split the Difference. And I can't remember that author's name. I'll link it below. But Never Split the Difference is a great book. It's talking about negotiating. And negotiating has a lot to do with asking the right questions. So I really recommend those. But guys, I think those 3 tips are going to take you a long ways. I'm a real big believer in coaching. I think coaches help push people. I think they help keep them accountable. I think they provide a ton of value and are well worth their money, especially if you find a good one. If you're interested in coaching, go ahead and you can write me in the comments, or you can find me on Instagram at debt.free.mafia, or Facebook is Debt Free Mafia. You can find me on there. Send me a DM. I'd love to just chat with you for a little bit. Guys, I hope that was helpful to you. If it was helpful, again, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you want to be a part of the Debt Free Mafia. If you want some more coaching content, let me know in the comments. And this is my question: have you ever hired a professional to coach you? Maybe it's a life coach or a financial coach, or maybe you're an aspiring fitness person, so you hired a fitness coach. Whatever it is, let me know in the comments below. What kind of coach have you hired, and what was your experience like? Because I love to hear those kinds of things. Guys, I appreciate you. Hope you have a good one. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.